Alright guys, so in this video I'm going to do a Summer Heat Paul Pogba player review. Now I did this player as soon as it came out and I've been using him in the weekend league. I've played him for around 10 to 15 games. It's actually a relatively good card and I was kind of hoping that the Kante would have won instead because he would have fit perfectly into my team. But I've kind of shoehorned in this Paul Pogba. He's replaced SEN into the lineup. Now this player review is going to be split into three parts. First it's player cost, so that's pretty straightforward. It's the cost of the SBC, or if it's on the market, then the cost of the player. If it's a high cost, then obviously it's not necessarily it's a bad thing. If it's an average, then it's neither good nor bad. And obviously if it's a low priced cost player, then it's a good thing. This is actually a pretty low cost player. And then the second part would be player replacement. So what substitutes can you make instead of doing this Paul Pogba? Again, if there's a lot of replacements, which there kind of is near the end of the game, then it'll be high, average, low, and then finally the player stats. I'll talk about the in-game stats and how he feels on the pitch as well. Again, if it's incredible, then it'll be gold, good, average, and then bad. And then finally, I'll give you a player verdict. The aim for these videos is to try and be between 5 to 10 minutes, so it's a shorter video. In regards to the team that I played him in, this is what it looks like at the starting screen. Everyone is on full chem besides Roberto Carlos. So Kante would have fit perfectly as well. Everyone would have been full chem. In game, this is what it looks like. Pogba plays right CDM, Fernandes left CDM, and Firmino at cam. I also did try this formation where Pogba played at cam, Firmino dropped out of the squad, and SEM played at CDM. But Pogba's not good enough at cam. He's not agile enough, and he doesn't offer what Firmino does, which is weird because they're both at 88 pace. So when it comes to player price, his SBC costs around 302k. And on Xbox is around the same. The closest player to compare him to is his foot birthday Pogba, and that's now 234k. Now, on the overall grand scheme of things, this is a really good, well-priced SBC. A lot of people, myself included, would have probably thought he was going to be closer priced to Firmino, so around the 600 to 700k mark, but instead he's coming in at 302k. Now, if we look at the foot birthday Pogba, his price was about a mil before they reintroduced the foot birthday players back into packs, and then it dropped to 760k on Tuesday. Wednesday is when they announced the voting, and I guess by Friday people kind of already knew that he was going to win the vote, so his price was 504k. Now this is before the SBC's release. Once the SBC was released, it dropped further, and now it's 134k, and the SBC itself is 300k. So it kind of tells you that people thought that it was going to be a higher cost SBC, and instead the pricing is actually really good, so definitely worth it. So when it comes to player replacements, this goes into and talks about the kind of players you can already have instead of this Pogba. Now there's the De Bruyne, both versions 95-96, Henderson, Wijnaldum, and Dembele and Pogba. Now the prices are on the screen there, 309k for De Bruyne and the lowest being Henderson at 80k. The Xbox prices are there as well. Now, if you're going to use him as a box-to-box centre midfielder, then the closest comparison would probably be Wijnaldum, maybe De Bruyne, but his defensive stats aren't as good. So, in my opinion, if you've already got a Wijnaldum, then I guess if you've got the coins to spare and it's pretty cheap, I'd do them both and just pick whichever one suited. Both of them together would probably be ideal because you do need one more defensive midfielder to help him. If you've got the Ndombele, I'd do it definitely. And Ndombele can be the guy that stays back while Pogba pushes forward. Same with Henderson. If you've got De Bruyne, any version of him, he's better in every regard. He's better at cam, he's better at centre mid, he's probably better at CDM as well. And if you've got that untradeable Pogba, then I guess unless you're going to throw him in, it's up to you whether you do it or not. But player replacement is high. So when it comes to the card itself, player stats, he's actually a very well-rounded card with his lowest attribute being balance 73, and again his acceleration 79. I'll get into that more in a minute. But I guess his strengths, shooting, passing, and dribbling, I'll just lump them all together because inside and outside of the box, he's lethal. That is an example of him outside the box. His positioning is always good, but his long shots is just ridiculous. They'll always go in. Well, not always, but they'll be on target most of the time. Again, his dribbling is really nippy if he can know how to use it. Again, he's got 5-star skill moves. If he can take advantage of that as well, it'll be even better. And yeah, his just pass and movement's really good. His attack positioning is high, so he'll make movement like this, and then inside the box is pretty much what you want in a box-to-box midfielder, really. But then There's also his physical aspects. Now, his jumping is 88 and his heading accuracy is 92. He's also 6'4" or 6'5". Now, one of the benefits this gives you is that he will always occupy that front post position, and because his heading accuracy is so good, he'll always win. He'll win the header a lot of the time on score. Unless you got someone like Team of the Year Ronaldo, Pogba will be there, and he's really good in the air at attacking corners and also defending corners. So that's his physical. Then his defending is passable. When I was going through the footage, I found more useful tackles for Bruno Fernandes because he's set to stay back whereas Pogba attacks. But there's two here where one of the benefits of him is because he's so big, his legs will get to places where most players won't. I guess the closest I can think of is Fabinho. He's also pretty tall, so his legs will make tackles that regular players won't be able to do. He's also got 96 strength, so when he's chasing after the ball, he has the knack to be able to push players off the ball, and that really helps. But then one of the negatives is his pace. Now his pace is 88. Firmino's also 88. Taking out ter Stegen, he's the slowest. They're the two slowest players in my team. And the reality is, a lot of opposition that you do come up against, they're going to be really fast players. My Mbabu, so my entire defence, my Mbabu has 99 pace, my Roberto Carlos has 92 pace, Eder Militao 90 pace, and Ferland Mendy 97 pace. So if I was coming up against him, my back four would be able to catch him. And that's one of the reasons why he can't really play cam. Now, centre mid is his forte. I reckon his best position is the box-to-box centre midfielder. He's got the strength, he's got the dribbling, he's got the passing, shooting, and his pace isn't the worst. Cam isn't ideal, so I'd play him at centre mid and obviously or a CDM with the instruction to get forward and join the attack. What's the final verdict? Now, he is a good card, he's definitely a good card, but he's not the type of player that's going to improve you as a player. And I'll explain what I mean by that. If you buy the mid or higher version of, say, a Ronaldo R9, a Hullet, Cruyff, Eusebio, those sort of players, or even like a Team of the Year Ronaldo, Messi, Ben Yedder, Mbappe, then they're going to instantly improve you as a player. And the reason is because they're so overpowered that you don't have to improve your accuracy of your shooting or, technique, that sort of stuff. The goals will automatically come. Same with, defensive players, so like Eder Militao, the SBC, or the Sergio Ramos, Varane, Diego Carlos. They're so fast and they're so OP that you don't have to actually tackle to win the ball. You can run into the player and the computer will do the work for you. Those sort of cards will improve you as a player. Paul Pogba is not like that. He's got no defining attribute that's going to make him automatically make you a better player. If you are a skillful player, you can make use of his 5-star skills, then it will improve you. But you need to be able to use him in a particular role to be particularly good. Now, I use him as a CDM or a box-to-box centre midfielder. Even though I don't use a defensive-minded player alongside him, I'm the type of player where, I'm not the greatest player, but I am above average. So I am able to utilise him. I can probably utilise him better. But if you're going to play him as a camp, then I definitely don't recommend doing him. There's so many better players you can buy off the market, actually, for a fraction of the price. But yeah, so that's the final verdict on him. I'd do him if you need like a centre midfielder, a CDM. His player price, incredible value. His player replacement, very high. So if you've got other players in the club, maybe think about not doing it. Player stats, again, they're good. So the final verdict is box-to-box centre midfielder, do him. CDM, secondary CDM, do him. If you're going to use him as a cam, do not do him. So that's it for the player review on Summer Heat Paul Pogba. I've got a lot of players in the club, so if you want a review on any of them, be sure to leave a comment, just let me know. Be sure to like the video, share the video, leave a comment. Most importantly, subscribe. I need to grow my subscriber base. And until the next one, which should be on Thursday if it's the rewards, peace.